Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox just coming to you today real fast to talk about that Super Bowl that went down yesterday. You guys, it was a show for the West Coast. Why y'all just don't be believing me when I tell you the West Coast is the best coast? Super Bowl Sunday was awesome. You guys, it's so funny because I didn't plan on doing a review of the Super Bowl halftime show, anything like that. My mind just was not, I figured that I would talk about it in Top of the Blogs, but I can't tell you how many people have been in my comments like, Roxanne, we can't wait till you do your review and you talk about the show and all that. I was just like, oh, y'all expected me to do a review for that? I mean, okay, I can do it. I can do it. You guys know I can always represent. So anyway, you guys, now you guys already know I'm not a I'm not a football person. I always tell you guys that. I mean, Mr. of course is a football person. Joseph is a football person. So they always have the game on. This time of the year, all you hear is cheering on Sundays in my house because the TVs stay on the football games. It drives me crazy. So, but other than that, I don't really know much about football. Don't claim to know anything. However, we always got to root for the home team. Always got to root for the home team, you guys. And you know, LA has had such a checkered past with the football teams in particular. You know, we haven't had a football team in years. I mean, in years. When the Raiders left, that was it. We never got another one. They didn't want to give us a new stadium. The Coliseum was falling apart. Nobody wanted to come to LA. It was just sort of like, how you have a big city, you know, like in LA, and you don't have a football team, okay? We are a championship city. I mean, our hockey teams, our baseball teams, our basketball teams, I mean, we win. And you mean to tell me that a city like LA is not gonna have a football team? So for years, y'all didn't check to see how many years, but it's been years since we had a football team. And we just kind of had to put all of our might, all of our hope into our basketball, baseball, and hockey teams because you know, it was just no football, but football is such a part of the American fabric. You know, we needed to have a football team. So, I mean, it was always a known thing. And, you know, they was flirting around the idea the Chargers was coming, the Rams was coming. And we finally went from no teams to two teams. Because isn't the Chargers is the LA team, right? Yeah, okay. Look, don't let me get on here and get the Lions. So once we had the Chargers and the Rams, you know, it was like, okay. Then they promised that they were going to build this new stadium. And then it was like, great, because, you know, finally people are going to have a place to come. This is LA, like I said, big city of dreams. I know it's not New York, you guys. But this is LA, and we need to have something, you know, for our fabulousness of Hollywood and all of that. I mean, how are you going to have people coming to some old rundown ass, you know, Coliseum? It was nothing that a team would want to play for. So once they said they were going to build that stadium, then it was on, okay, on like Donkey Kong. So that stadium is beautiful. Before we even get started, you guys, I haven't seen it in person. Last time I was in LA, they were building it, but I haven't actually seen it. But everybody tells me that it is magnificent. When I see it from the TV, I still can't believe that that's in Inglewood. It's crazy to me because Inglewood, like any other place, it has its great places and its great areas, and then it has its not so great areas. Where the stadium is built, child, this eyelash. Where the stadium is built, it's right over, you know, near the airport, maybe about 4 or 5 miles from the airport. If you go straight down Century, you know, you'll end up at the airport. But it's, you know, it's truly in the city of Inglewood. So that's where the Forum is. If you're familiar with the areas out there, that's where the Forum is, where the racetrack actually used to be. And Hollywood Park, for all of my old West Coast LA girls and boys out there, rock stars out there. But it's just amazing when I see it on TV because it truly looks like it's in the middle of like Century City. Century City is like your, you know, it's close to Beverly Hills. It's up in the West. It's real nice. It's just, you know, where the other folks reside. So when I look at it, I was like, they really did a great job. Inglewood is, I mean, they were so smart in acquiring that that stadium and making sure that it was there is going to bring so much income and everything for the city. So yeah, it's just beautiful. It is just beautiful because right around, they got rid of the bottoms. The bottoms used to be over there. The projects used to be over there. It was a lot. They cleared out a lot and they made the room for it. And now from what I understand, it is just prime property. They're even trying to give some of the people that live over in Carlton Square, which is like a subdivision that they built probably about 20, no, it was more than that, probably about 30 years ago, 25 to 30 years ago. And, in LA, we didn't have subdivisions. If you wanted a subdivision, you had to go out, like to the valley, or not even really the valley. You had to go out to like these new areas where in San Bernardino, Riverside, Pomona, certain areas where they were building new property. Corona, that's where you could get Palmdale. I just keep on thinking of all these cities, but that's where you could get subdivisions and you would get these kind of quality houses that they were building. Because really all of the real estate in LA is 25, built in the 25s, 1925s, 1935. The house that we sold was built in 1932. The house my parents live in was built like at the beginning of the 1900s that my dad is still in. So yeah, you couldn't even get new property there. And now from what I understand, they're trying to get some sort of domain over the property where Carlton Square is so that they can like acquire that area for parking. So all of a sudden, Inglewood has become a desirable place to live. And like I said, Inglewood has always had some really nice areas. So, but it's just really interesting to see how the city has transformed over like all of the years. So when I was watching it yesterday on the TV, I was proud. I was like, look at my old city. I didn't grow up in Inglewood, y'all. I grew up on 8th Avenue and 48. Okay. But when Mr. and I got married, we bought a house in Inglewood, really not even 10 miles, not even 5 miles from SoFi Stadium. Like we can kick ourselves, well, not me, because I didn't want to sell the house. I did not want to move here, but Mr. was hell bent on moving here. I mean, it was a good move for us. Our family, we had to sacrifice for our family. We had a young boy. We wanted to make sure that he didn't grow up in the environment in LA. So that was a decision that we made. But when you think about the real estate and how that house that we sold for $465 is now well over $1 million in worth, it just makes you kind of want to kick yourself. But you know what? Things happen for a reason. It worked out fine here in Atlanta. It was tough, but it worked out fine. So anyway, I know y'all like, we ain't asked for all this, Roxanne. We just want the Super Bowl part. But I just had to kind of build up the story so you guys can understand like all that has come around for Inglewood and just watching. So I was really, really proud to see it. And I think that this is going to be great for the city. It's going to just bring more and more, attract more and more good things for the city. Now, as far as the football game was concerned, because we're going to do it in order, you guys, the football game, I did watch it, but just, I didn't really know what was going on. Every time it was something good, if Mr. cheered, then I was happy. If he was like, oh shit, then I was like, what happened? Like explain it to me. But what I did realize, what I knew just from seeing it was when Odell Beckham hurt his leg, which was the flukiest, craziest injury. I mean, nobody was near him. It looked like he just jammed his knee. I still don't even know what's going on with his knee. They haven't really said. I guess they have to wait till they get the test and all of that. And you know what? Let the nigga just relax for now because we won the Super Bowl and all of that. So, we'll get that information in time. But I was just like, oh my God. Mr. was like, oh my God, it's going to be so hard for them to win without Odell Beckham, okay? And then I was hurt for Odell because I was like, all of the work that you put in to play in a game, like these are the dreams that kids have when they dream of becoming an NFL player. Now, if they're lucky enough to become a player, okay, then they're lucky enough to get on a Super Bowl winning champion type team, a championship team that makes it to the Super Bowl. This is what every little boy, I would imagine, who wants to play football thinks about, is getting to the big, big game. And then you get there and then you don't even get injured in the middle of a play, like, by somebody else. Like, this is just a crazy thing where his knee snapped or something. And so I was looking at it and I was hurt for him because I was just like, I know he's just like, you could tell the disappointment when he was walking off the field, because he was in pain when he was on that ground, and Mister was like, oh shit, this looks serious. Like, I don't think he's coming back. And sure enough, we found out that he was not coming back. And as soon as he got hurt, you guys, they was up by 2 touchdowns. And look at me, I'm trying to, now y'all, I just told you I don't know much about football, but they were up by, from what I remember, 2 touchdowns. It was like 13 or 14-0 or something like that. And it seems like as soon as he got hit, it just changed, it shifted the momentum. I mean, not hit when he got hurt, it shifted the momentum of the game. And the next thing you know, the damn, what was the name of the team? What was the name of the team? I can't even think of it. I keep on wanting to say Buccaneers. It's not Buccaneers. What's the other team, y'all? Anyway, it's going to come to me. I'll put it on the screen if I can't remember. But anyway, they ended up coming back. And by the time we got to halftime, they were only down, what, by 3 points or something? I was just like, oh my God. Everything was going so smoothly till then, you know? So when they finally did come back from the halftime, then it just looked like the Rams had just kind of lost their oomph. You know, they knew that he was hurt and he wasn't coming back. And it was just like everybody had to readjust their mentality and, you know, really dig in. And I had just thought that it was a wrap. And then, you know, it was like the last couple of minutes and it was coming down to the wire. And I just was like, even though in football, I've come to learn that 2 minutes can be a long ass time. But I just was like, this is going to be really tough. And I'm talking about at the last, when they made that, oh my gosh. Mister was like, that's game. He was so excited. And I was excited for him too, because I was just like, oh my God, like this is what it needed to be. You know, it's the new team in the new stadium. You know, the Super Bowl hadn't been in LA in almost 30 years. And we needed this all to work together for the good, you guys. So it was like all of this needed to be for the West Coast to make it happen, you guys. And so when they won, it was just like, yes, this is what we needed. You guys. And I was so happy for him. I was happy for Odell Beckham, even though he didn't get to play. I'm sure he was disappointed because, you know, when you dream about these things, of course, you want to be the one to contribute to it. But I mean, it's obvious he helped that team get to where they are. So, you know, that's a good thing. And then I'm sure he feels better that they won without him, than if he was playing and they lost, or if he wasn't playing and they lost. I mean, so I think it was great that they were able to, the coach and the players was able to readjust, you know, dig down and just make it happen. So yeah, I was proud. I was proud of the West Coast. I was proud of the LA Rams. I was proud. I can remember when my brother was a Rams fan years and years ago. I'm talking about when we were little. And then when they left, went to St. Louis and, you know, had been around or whatever, didn't even think about the Rams anymore. But now that they're back in LA, it's just really nice. So I'm sure that the St. Louis rock stars out there, or people who were St. Louis Rams fans, you know, I'm sure that this was good for them to see as well if they continue to cheer on the team and everything. So yeah, you guys, the game was very entertaining. I mean, for whatever it's worth, you guys, it's football, like I said, but you know, it was still, it never felt boring. You know how sometimes now I know a boring game when I see it. So that was good. But you guys, we got to talk about this halftime show. So the halftime show, you guys, we have been talking about it. They've been building up to it. You know, the fact that it was going to be in the SoFi Stadium and then SoFi Stadium, and that we were going to have our West Coast artists that like kind of took over the halftime show. We know that Jay-Z and his people are in charge of the entertainment now. Yes, we know also that they did not get paid for this gig. First of all, these are already super rich, super established artists who ain't really even looking for another dime. But also just the to be able to say that you performed in the Super Bowl. I mean, the Super Bowl halftime shows now have become such a, I mean, it's such a staple on its own that people even look forward, like myself, more to the halftime shows than they do, you know, the actual game. If you're not a football fan, this is still something that brings in the audience, you know. I mean, I can think of plenty of halftime shows that I loved. I loved the Michael Jackson one, of course. I mean, how can you not? I loved when Destiny's Child was there, Bruno Mars, Beyonce, you know, just to name a few that really have stuck out in my mind. So yeah, sometimes the Super Bowl halftime shows, you guys wait for me to say is this half super time? Did I say super time? Super Bowl halftime show. You know, it's a big part of the whole Super Bowl show. So I was totally looking forward to it because, of course, we have Dr. Dre, who is such a big deal in LA. I mean, he's a big deal everywhere. But, you know, when you have an artist that has gained that much success that you can call your own, then it just brings an extra level of pride to you. That's Blue shaking in his cage, you guys. So, yeah, I was excited. They said that Dr. Dre was going to be the one, and then he was going to have his artists. I just assumed these were his artists that had been under his production at some point. You know, we had, of course, Snoop Dogg, who started on Death Row when Dr. Dre first went over to Death Row, started that with Suge Knight. We had Eminem, who was Dr. Dre's like huge artist that he had. We had Kendrick Lamar, which is like from this new generation, you know, just somebody who also had huge success, but, you know, like our younger people could relate to that artist. And then we had Mary J, of course, the queen of hip hop soul. Is that what they call her? You guys, and let's just appreciate Mary J for a second. Did you guys listen to her new album? Excellent. I can listen to the first 8 songs all the way through, straight through, don't have to stop. Then the next 2 I can just kind of do without. I mean, they cool or whatever, but I don't have to have those. And then the last couple of, I think it's 2 or 3 after those, just really a good quality sound album from Mary. And something I haven't felt like Mary's albums, the last couple that she's had, it just didn't do nothing for me. But this album, it just really, the words, like I'm so happy for Mary because she's been through a lot. We've talked about the shit that she's been through a lot on this channel, in my top of the blogs and things like that. And she's just landed on her feet and on top. And that's just a good feeling to know. You know, I always try to tell the kids, like, you know, you just do good. All right. It always seems like other people, you know, people that might be fucked up or whatever are winning, but shit always comes around to them. You might not even see it happen to them, but it still will happen to them. In the meantime, even though you might be getting these setbacks and it seems like shit is happening to you and it's all negative and it's all bad, people that do good or people that are good people, they always land on their feet. They always. I've seen it happen so many times. I've seen so many good people get fucked over and they still do well. It still works out for them because God takes care of his children, right? So Mary is like a good example of that. When I think about it, when she was talking about, you know, the Good Morning Gorgeous song she was talking about, you know, I know that she's had issues with self-confidence and things like that. So I know where that theme might come from. Oh God, the FedEx man is here. Blue is going to yell when he sees it. Hopefully the man will be quiet. But the Rent Due song that she has, when you listen to the words of that, and even when she talked about it, and how she just talked about how difficult it was for her after she had got her divorce, she had spent all her money. Well, he had spent all her money. And, you know, she couldn't afford anything. All she had was the money for her rent, and that was it. But she was paying all of this shit. She was so aggravated and mad. And I was just like, girl, but it's okay. It's okay because you still came out on top. Is Blue gonna hear them FedEx? I told you. Blue, 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 Blue. Calm it down. If he wouldn't have rang the doorbell, then Blue wouldn't have heard it. Relax. Going to lay back down. Let me finish this video. So anyway, what I was saying was I just be happy for Mary because, hey, no. I was happy for Mary because this is the last few years have been her year. She was on the Umbrella Squad, I think is the name of the show on Netflix, which I don't know if a lot of people have been watched, but she was good on there. That was a series on Netflix. And then, of course, she's got this power gig, and people were saying that, Mary can't act, or Mary, like she's not good in that character. But my whole thing is, whether or not she can act is one thing, but the fact that she took that role, like people know Amari Hardrick because of Ghost. People are gonna know Mary, or they're gonna also say that this was like something else that she was able to do and kind of like make it her own. Like, we know Mary as Monet. Have you seen all the memes that are going around from her performance? They're all talking about Monet, and I think that was such a good move for her. Whether or not she's the best actress or not, it still was just a great choice for her, because look at how, first of all, she's been able to parlay it on past now 2 seasons. Like, that's going to be a job that she's going to have. She's going to have income, that's steady income. And, like, it's just good for her. This is a good year. And even though Kendu did whatever he did to her, and, she was mad about it, look at where she is now. You performing on Super Bowl, you got a new album coming out, everybody loves you. And I'm talking about everybody, not just Black people. Honey, white folks love them some Mary too, okay? All races love Mary because she is just one of those people that you can feel, the sincerity for. But let me get back to the Super Bowl halftime show. So we had Snoop Dogg, we had Mary, we had surprise guest 50 Cent, which we didn't know that we were having, but he was our surprise guest. We had Kendrick Lamar, we had Eminem, okay? And of course, those are all artists that Dr. Dre has worked with. And I thought it was great that they added Mary, because they needed a woman, and who else was they gonna have as the Dr. Dre woman, added into the thing? Was it gonna be Michelle A? Bless her heart and all, but no. And so Mary probably was going to be the best name for that. But you guys, the performances. Now, people are talking about whether or not it was watered down. I will say that performance, although I enjoyed it, it was a great time. I was proud. I was just like, yes, everybody is doing it. I will say that, yes, it was probably watered down. We're used to seeing them a little bit looser. Okay, we're used to them not playing the radio edit. Of course, this is Super Bowl. We don't want no drama. You cannot have nothing attached negatively to this performance, because people were already having a problem with the fact that it was hip hop and hip hop show to begin with. Like, you got a whole Super Bowl halftime show and it's all rap, or like hip hop, a little bit of soul mixed in there, but for the most part, it's all rap. Like, yeah, so they had to make sure that they kept that clean. So yes, they did have the dancers that they probably wouldn't have had. You looked at them background dancers. Them ain't the dancers I know I saw when I saw Snoop Live. Bitch, we can't put a poll out there, But what I'm saying is, they had to make sure that we kept this as PG as we could, because this is Super Bowl. We don't want no drama. Don't be up in here with this talking about, we don't want you to be able to be on the news the next day and talking about another Nipplegate situation, So yes, it was toned down, because if you've seen any of those artists live, or even if you just seen them perform in other venues, then yes, it could have been a whole lot wilder. So I will give it that. However, I still was there for it. You guys. And just the opening. First of all, we kind of had a little bit of an idea of what the setup was going to, no, we didn't. Let me not even go there. But Mister's in a low riding club and a bike club, and some of his friends and some of the people that he's in the clubs with, they were using their low riders for the performance. Actually, one of his good friends, it was his lowrider that was in the middle. Fun fact, they took all of the hoods off of everybody's lowrider, and put new hoods on there so that the dancers could dance on there, because of course these lowriders is $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 that they've invested into it. And you mean to tell me you want somebody to dance on my damn hood? So they took everybody's hoods off, put these other hoods on there, and let the dancers dance on there. But anyway, so Mr. was looking at one of his friends' IG lives or Facebook lives or whatever, of like the behind the scenes of what was going on. But anyway, when Dr. Dre, you guys, because I love all of the drama of everything, how it's surrounded. But when Dr. Dre came up, I even put it on my stories, because when he came up and when they showed it from his vantage point or from behind him, I was just like, yes, this is going to be it. This is going to be it. So, you know, when they came up and, excuse me, it was Dr. Dre's song coming up, I was just like, yes, this is about to be a good time. Of course, Snoop Dogg opened up with his blue rag sweatsuit on. And I was like, you better represent, you know, how you banging on the Super Bowl? Okay, that's low-key banging, but it still was banging. That is a blue rag suit. But Snoop Dogg, when he performed, like I said, I've seen it get a lot raunchier, but I was fine with what it was. And then after Snoop, who do we have next? Was it Mary? And like I said, it's always appreciation and love for Mary. She even kept it kind of cool. She didn't get as loose as she normally would. She even had a little bit of choreography. I was like, okay, Mary, come on, looking good. And that Mary looks great, don't she? Oh my God, her body. People don't never really talk much about Mary's body, but Mary looks good, and she's looked good for a long time. So this ain't new good, and that looked like corn-fed good. Like, it don't look like she's had. I mean, she might have had a couple of procedures or whatever, but the butt and the hip and the leg ratio, it all match. Okay, she ain't got no huge ass titties. Like, everything still works together, you know. So enjoyed Mary. And then of course we had Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, okay, hanging upside down, looking like a damn stuffed sausage. I was like, how long was he hanging upside down, y'all? He looked like he was all of the fat had then just all like came down. I was like, ooh, look like he's gonna explode. Somebody help that man down. That's an iconic Dre beat. Like in the club, that's an iconic Dre beat. Just one that will always stand the test of time. So, you know, that's always the jam. Everybody knew the words to that too. You could see when people were singing it. And then we had Kendrick Lamar. Was it Kendrick next? I'm not sure who the order was. I didn't write anything down because I didn't plan on doing this, you guys. But let's just talk about Kendrick. I was happy that Kendrick, you know, because we know he's in his old Hotep. You know, he come out there looking like Black Jesus sometimes. So you don't never know what he might come out, half his head braided, looking like Martin or something. But he was braided down, tacked down nicely. He had on I think he had on a Virgil Abloh, something from the Louis Vuitton collection, the last collection that Virgil Abloh did before he died. So he looked really nice, and he did... now, you know my jam is We Gonna Be All Right. And I was like, yeah. When I heard that, I was like, oh, he about to do my jam. It started with Mad City. It's so funny because only Kendrick Lamar's music do I really remember who played what, his and Eminem's. And of course I do remember. I mean, I remember everybody's music. Mary did No More Drama or No Drama, and let's get it crunk up on the punk thona in this dancery. Let's get it percolating while you're hating, so just dance for me. But yeah, Kendrick did Mad City, and then he did We Gonna Be All Right. And then we had Eminem, and Eminem, of course, did Lose Yourself. And what was the other song? He didn't do Forget About Dre, did he? I don't remember. Of course, all of the talk has been about Eminem taking a kneel at the end of his performance. I saw that he kneeled, but I didn't even equate that with anything of making any type of statement. You know, I'm fine with it. If he chose to kneel because he had some sort of personal feelings that he wanted to express himself there, even though the NFL said that they didn't want him to do it. Of course, this is Eminem. He's going to do what the fuck he want to do. He's rich. He's white. Okay. Yeah, and he's going to do it. And so people are talking about it now, but it didn't make, it wasn't that, it didn't mean anything to me. I thought that it was cool if that's what he felt like he needed to do or wanted to do, and stood on it, even though they told him not to do it. Okay. And then, of course, at the end, when Dr. Dre came back out, who was looking quite good, I was like, boy, I tell you, that billionaire status show. Dr. Dre's never been bad looking, but he's gone through some stages, over the years. And I remember at one point I saw him and I was like, what is going on with Dr. Dre? I mean, he was just way too swole, bufferino, just it was wrong, y'all. But he done calmed it down some. I was like, whew, whew. Okay, Doc, you looking good. You looking good, and they did Still Dre, and everybody came out and it closed it out. Did you guys see how little Kendrick Lamar? I was like, how tall is he? Like 5'2", y'all? I mean, just a teeny weeny, ain't he? But it was good. Everybody was like, dang, it needed to be longer. I was like, a halftime show is only 12 minutes. Like, you got to get everybody in. Everybody, with the exception of 50, had 2 songs, and we had to just really do a verse from every song. So it wasn't like we could do like a whole song. We'd have been there for 45 fucking minutes, So everybody had their 2. We had to scrunch it on, scrunch, all the way down and get that in those 12 minutes. And it all had to work smoothly so that we can get on with the game. Okay. And so if anything, this halftime show made me wish that Dr. Dre's artists could like do a tour, but the logistics would be so difficult. Like, I know Puffy was able to do it, but Puffy's artists, although they were very successful at the time, and they're still successful, they're not as busy still as Dr. Dre's artists. Like, those artists, all of them that were up there are all still very active in their careers and still very busy in their careers, So it would be hard for the doctor, but man, if they got a West Coast, like a Dr. Dre, reunion type of, like Death Row reunion type of tour, and of like the artists that we really all want to see, not just, I mean, not some of them ones that don't nobody care about. I'm talking about like these artists and a couple of other ones that weren't there. It would be awesome. But then there's also some bad blood a little bit with some of the artists and all of that. But still, you guys, it would just really it would be a great tour. It would be a great, great tour. But yeah, it was good. It was good. I had planned on putting it on my stories, my Instagram stories, but I was dancing and everything, and I didn't even have my phone in my hand because I was so, like, you can't be recording and dancing and looking at the TV and trying to talk to y'all all at the same time. I was just like, I'll just have to catch them afterwards. But yeah, I was real proud, you guys, because the West Coast is the best coast. I just was glad that we represented the way that we did, and then the Rams, for them to win, and for it to be beautiful Southern California, and the weather was just really, really nice, and just, I mean, it all worked out. It just all worked out. It was a beautiful day yesterday. I had a good feeling when I woke up, that it was going to be a good day for the Rams. It got a little shaky when Beckham got hurt, but when it all was said and done, the West Coast is the best coast food. We came out on top. What do you guys think about all of the festivities? Oh, I didn't even talk about the pre-show. We had Mary, they did Lift Every Voice, okay? Did not enjoy the arrangement. It was weird. It was so many notes. It was all over the place. It definitely was difficult to sing. It was hard for me to follow. Of course, the arrangement has nothing to do with the voices. Of course, Erica and Tina have beautiful voices. I didn't see them girls live. I used to go to their church, so them girls can sing. When I tell you that the Lord has blessed them, they are blessed, okay? So it's not any reflection on their voice, but the arrangement of the song, I don't know who arranged it, but it changed it changed, it went up and down, and it changed, it was just not good. I didn't enjoy it. That Tina looked great though, didn't she? Not Tina. I mean, Tina didn't look bad, but I'm talking about Erica. Erica looked great. She was tiny. Ooh, she was worked out and she looked good. Tina still looks like Tina. And then the songs, Janae Aiko. I was just like, who picked Janae Aiko? I know she's from Inglewood, but I was just like, who wants to hear the mew mew pew pew at the Super Bowl? I could not understand that for the life of me. You know, and then she did everything was like this. What did she sing? It wasn't Star Spangled Banner. It was the other one. I can't even think of the song, you guys. But it was just like, I was like, And then they had the country singer, the black country singer sing Star Spangled Banner, which was good. She has a good voice. But none of the pre-show, I mean, the singers from really, nobody did it for me. I mean, of course, if I was going to say who was the best, then I would say Mary Mary. Then the country singer, and then, girl, the Mew Mew Pew Pew. What was the song? Was it America the Beautiful? I don't know, but I was like, we could have did without that. But you know, she looked pretty. She looked nice, and she didn't sound bad. You know, it's not that she can't sing. It's just you want something that's inspiring and like, you know, big voiced so that you can get everybody's like blood flowing and, you know, they can get the feels and everything. And child, she, you know, she make you want to smoke weed or something. So I was just like, okay. But all in all, it was a really great game, really great halftime show. Really, really enjoyed it. You guys tell me what you thought about everything. And I am going to get off of here. Yes, I am going to do Tommy's show, Power Book 4 Force. That'll be coming up later on today. Like I said, I didn't plan on doing this, but I'm here and I'm doing it now. So you guys will see Force later. But y'all let me know what you thought about the show. Okay, and I'm going to get on off of here. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to this channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is itsrox. Everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.